Since its introduction in 2000, the PlayStation 2 has broken sales records for games consoles all over the world. It is the machine that everyone's been waiting for and talking about since early demonstrations of its awesome power were shown to the unsuspecting audience at the Tokyo Game Show in Japan. Around this time, Sony Computer Entertainment Studio Liverpool in England began working on a game that would push the boundaries of the most powerful gaming hardware to the absolute limit.
The racing engine was an R&D project which we started over 2 years ago just to develop the technology to do the physics, collision, AI for racing games. We didn't have a particular target when we started it, but it turned out to be a pretty good basis to start F1.
3 years later, the game now known as Formula 1 2001 for PlayStation 2 is nearing its completion, and we invite you to join us for this exclusive behind-the-scenes look at how the latest Formula 1 game will bring an unprecedented level of realism and fun to PlayStation owners worldwide.
The Formula 1 series to date has sold over 5 million units worldwide on PlayStation and is the leading Formula 1 series in the market. We're now taking the franchise to PlayStation 2, and what that has enabled us to do is really take it to the next level. We've been able to make significant advances in the depiction of the artificial intelligence of the drivers that you race against, in the level of detail and quality of the physics that is used in the game, giving a real accurate depiction of what driving a Formula 1 car actually feels like. And we've been able to do all that with the game running at a constant 60 frames per second.
The team will have been together by the time we finish the game in the not too distant future for about 18 months. At its peak, we had about 25 people on the team. That's made up primarily of programmers and artists, project managers like myself and designers.
The main aim for the game, really, from day one was to beat everybody else that was out there. And no matter what format it was, it's a bit of a large ambition, really, a bit of a tough one to do, but I just looked at all the projects on the PC, like Jeff Cameron's GP series and Ubisoft's game and so on, and looked at the console games, and there was a distinct difference between all those projects, and the console games were very arcadey, PC was really sim-based, and I wanted to really kind of merge those projects and take the best elements from both sides of the fence.
The biggest jump from PlayStation 1 to PlayStation 2, the hardest sort of leap to make is to know where to draw the line, really. You go from this machine which you know a lot about, and you know the limits of it, and you can plan for that perfectly. When we were first given the PlayStation 2, we didn't really know the limits, so we made some educated guesses of how many polygons we could shift and what sort of level of realism we could get out of the simulator. We were quite lucky in that our guesses were pretty good.
The graphical capabilities of PlayStation 2 have allowed the team to include an incredible amount of detail into Formula 1 2001. Previously omitted trackside details on famous circuits like Monaco, Spa or Monza could be included, as well as unique cockpits for all the teams found in the game.
Basically what we do is when we first want to build a track, the first thing we look at is what's called a DXF. Now a DXF is sort of like a plan view, it's like a flat view if you were to look down on any of the tracks that we use in game. When we start to build up the tracks then, the programmers themselves have given us colour codes. So when we build a tarmac of the track, we colour it blue. When we do the gravel, we colour it yellow. Any of the rumble strips are done in red, and then the grass is done in green. Bar that, and the models, everything else really is in black, because nothing else is, the car only needs to know what it collides onto. This is basically what we start off with. After we've got our DXF, we've taken all the detail and had a look at it. This is really what it looks like to us, is a wireframe mesh. From there, we started using the photographs, we started to put things together. So this basically is the starting of a tree. And what we can do is we can add what's called an alpha channel, which is like a transparency. If I turn that on, you can see there's a tree shape. So when we apply it and we're looking at it inside our 3D program, it looks like a box like this. We then tag it to tell the game, right, this has an alpha channel on it. So when you see it on screen, you get this sort of tree effect.
Formula 1 2001 from Sony Computer Entertainment Europe is the only Formula 1 game available that features all the official commentators in the major European languages. The game is localized from English into French, German, Italian, Spanish and Finnish to ensure the realistic depiction of the world's most popular motorsport also includes lifelike commentary.
The difference between live commentary and PlayStation commentary are immense, actually. Of course, if we screw up here in the recording studio, we can change those words. When it's live, it's gone out forever. But finding the words to put into the game for all of the crazy situations the players are going to get into is quite difficult.
What fascinates me about Formula 1 2001 for PlayStation 2 is the amazing accuracy of the courses, the fact that some of the drivers actually use PlayStation for finding out exactly where they're going on the track. For instance, Jacques Villeneuve, when he came over in 1996, learned the circuits from PlayStation.
If only the drivers could hear the Murray and Martin PlayStation commentary real time, they'd be much faster. Murray could tell them what's going on, and I can tell them how to do it.
A big part of Formula 1's appeal lies in the distinct engine sound that each of the cars on the grid unleashes onto the spectators and viewers. It is therefore more than understandable that Sony Computer Entertainment Studio Liverpool has spent a great deal of time in capturing this element of the sport.
We spoke to the FOA, which is Formula 1 Administration, and FOM, which is Formula 1 Management. They obliged us in giving us plenty of samples for all of the cars, so I managed to get reasonable loot from them.
The PlayStation 2 has a PlayStation 1 central processing unit situated inside it, which isn't getting used for very much. So we thought, why not use that for sound? So we've got a whole PlayStation 1 doing nothing but sound processing.
Some of the samples that are provided or given to us weren't very suitable, so we spoke to Jordan and Prost, who we sponsored at the time. And I managed to go into the garage and record the Jordan and the Prost.
I've written a tool which Mike DeBell can use. Allows him to tweak quite a few parameters which describe how the engine is processed.
We've been developing Formula 1 games now since 1996, and the 2001 game of Formula 1 is really the culmination of years of experience and enthusiasm that has gone into creating the PlayStation 2 version that, for us, is the stepping stone for future iterations of the games. We have long-term plans for the series on PlayStation 2. For the 2001 version, we really wanted to concentrate on creating a very playable and a very realistic depiction of the sport that we can then build upon in releases for the years to come.
As far as the next projects are concerned, obviously we'll do an updated version of Formula 1. But as well as that and after that, we have some pretty fantastic concepts in the pipeline. I think once people out there see the current version of Formula 1, hopefully they'll be wondering what is going to be coming out of Sony Studio Liverpool for the future. Just wait and see.